happy to join you here in the Republic of Korea, one of America's greatest allies and friends, to celebrate the life and the work of Reverend Dr. Myung, and especially to Mrs. Moon. My wife, Dr. Samia, and I offer our heartfelt greetings and condolences to your family from ours. As a veteran member of the United States Congress for 30 years and a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, I'm greatly encouraged by this gathering of participants from so many countries representing all the world's faith traditions to address the critical need for and your unique approach to establishing peace in this era of urgent challenges. Dr. Moon, I must say that your continued leadership to support the Washington Times is appreciated by all God-fearing people. The role of the Washington Times in America's capital city has been one of the most powerful influences on America and the world in support of faith, marriage, religious freedom, respect for all faiths and races, and finally, the rejection of socialism and atheism. The thought leadership presented daily in the Times also supports the God-affirming democratic free world to stand firm against terrorism and tyranny. America and more than 180 countries worldwide. I want to encourage you and everyone here in this impressive gathering that the work you and your husband have done and continue to do strengthen America and people of faith over the years is recognized throughout the world. We know that Reverend Moon suffered for several years in a North Korean communist prison camp and was liberated by UN forces led by the United States. After launching his church together with Mrs. Moon, he then responded to God's call and came to America to strengthen America's founding spirit of faith and freedom so that America could lead the world to peace. I witnessed how this movement worked hard to help America's leaders, citizens, and media stand firm against communism and immorality. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to set the record straight here today. We know that it is because of such a righteous and effective stance that Reverend Moon encountered opposition and persecution, just as it came to all historical religious leaders in the past. Just 2 weeks ago, I met with my good and longtime friend Senator Hatch, who you just saw in the video. Senator Hatch has served in the United States Senate for 37 years. He's well known in America as a champion of religious freedom and traditional values. Senator Hatch sincerely conveyed how he knew that Reverend Moon had been persecuted and mistreated. Back in June of 1984, the senator held important hearings on religious freedom in the U.S. Senate, and he stood strong to fight this injustice. He said on the record in these hearings, and I want to quote Senator Hatch, he said, quote, "As chairman of the subcommittee on the Constitution, I personally analyzed Reverend Moon's case very carefully and felt so strongly about what I believe were violations of Reverend Moon's constitutional rights in the manner in which his trial was conducted that I filed my own brief with the United States Supreme Court." Senator Hatch went on and concluded, "I believe that injustice was done and that the treatment of Reverend Moon was because of his strong, righteous stance against communism and immorality." I agree with Senator Hatch, and I would like again to set the record straight here today before you in this historical event. What happened to Reverend Moon was not the will of the righteous American people, but a tragic case of religious persecution and bigotry. And I'm glad, Mother Moon, that you're here to hear this today. As a man of faith who was honored to serve my country in the United States Congress on behalf of the patriotic and God-loving people of America, I'm sorry that the American system did not work to protect this man of God. Dr. Moon, I want you to know that because of the persecution you and your husband endured, your movement became stronger and more effective. And through the Washington Times and your husband's many efforts, combined with freedom-loving people of the world, the Cold War was ended and the Berlin Wall came down. Today, given the many challenges faced around the globe, here on the Korean Peninsula and in America, we stand together with you and are confident with your leadership and a unified effort among faith-based organizations, families can be strengthened with a God-centered approach that reduces divorce and immorality. A new level of cooperation can be made real among the Abrahamic faiths, and the mounting wave of terrorism and other security challenges can and will be rolled back. It is our common prayer that peace be established and that God's will be done to set forth his kingdom here on earth. However, all of us gathered here today need to speak loudly to all of the leaders, nations, and peoples around the world that religious persecution and terrorism must be defeated. We must speak out. America must once again stand up to be a beacon of religious freedom and morality for all, and joining with the Republic of Korea and all God-loving nations join in protecting the rights of conscience at home and abroad. But as world leaders assembled here, let me once again say it's all up to us to speak out strongly against religious persecution and terrorism. Ladies and gentlemen, I pray that the legacy of peace that Reverend Moon upheld throughout his life, and that all of you carry forward together with Mrs. Moon, will shine brightly here in Korea and throughout the world. Thank you, and may God bless each of you, your families, and your significant work. Thank you very much.